We assist these young men with their entire experience, whether they are at the high school level and understanding fundamentals. We have camps and clinics. We also have leadership development programs to assist not only football student athletes, but also athletes at the high school and the collegiate level in becoming good people and being leaders and using their athleticism plus their academics to be, successful in life, because I do believe that sports can assist people in a lot of ways to be better prepared for some of the hardships that life, you might have to face. And when you play team sports, it definitely helps when you're able to be a part of a team. So through our department, we try to make sure that the young people's experience, and then those who can and do make it to the NFL, that it's seamless, that they have great information prior to coming, and then while they're in the National Football League as active NFL players, that they understand the breadth of what is available to them in the way of resources and services so that they can successfully transition. And then for former players or legends, we still assist them because they're still part of the family. So we want to make sure that their journey and their transition is as fulfilling as it can be.
Let's talk about the different educational services, because I wasn't aware that at the high school and college level, the NFL does provide education services, and not just to the male athletes, but to females as well. What services do they provide to that audience?
Sure. So we have a few programs. Our prep platform is where we really concentrate our outreach efforts on high school and college leadership development. We have a program called the Leadership Prep 100 series, which is basically a one-day, half-day clinic, football skills and drills. The target audience is high school football student athletes. They're mostly all male student athletes. And then the other half of the time of that particular program is spent in the classroom with them, their parents, and their athletic administrators or coaches, and explaining to them and partnering with the National Collegiate Athletic Association so that they understand the initial eligibility rules and requirements so that they can become academically successful as well as still be able to participate in sport as a student athlete while in college. And then we have former players and active player engagement directors and active players who participate on a panel to talk with them about leadership and to talk with them about transition. And it's never too early in our realm that we work in. We feel that it's never too early to understand that transition applies in various aspects of your life. So it's very appropriate for us to give that type of transition discussion to not only the student athletes, but also their parents and their guardians and the administrators. And then we have other programs for high school student athletes that address a cross spectrum of people, and we have females that are involved in that. And it's a one-day program called a Career in Sports Exposition. And it's a one-day program that we have around the draft and the Super Bowl, where we show and expose the young people that participate in the geographic region where the draft or the Super Bowl is being hosted. So we work with a nonprofit agency to basically canvass the area where the event is going to take place. And we have a series of panels where we have active and former players as well as other athletics administrators from the college side to the professional side. And really the goal is to expose these young people while they're still in high school about the opportunities that sports will afford people so that they're not just locked in, oh, I want to be, in the NBA and I want to go to school 1 year and then I want to be in the NBA, or I want to come into the NFL, and they're only focused on playing, when in actuality they don't probably have much of a frame of reference about what is all involved in sports. And so it's been really interesting.
Yeah, the NFL prep focuses on 6 core areas. It says academic excellence, financial literacy, character development, conflict resolution, communication, and then health, safety, and wellness.
Yes.
And that extends both for the students in high school and college, then the new entrance into the NFL, and then even as folks start to transition to their next careers.
That's correct.
The NFL provides education in all those areas to all those different groups.
Correct, as well as to the spouses and significant others. For active players and former players, we have what we call transition assistance programs for former players or the legends, where we really assist them with, you're not just physically transitioning off the field into mainstream life, but you are transitioning in all aspects of that. So we work with them and have people that are experts in dealing with the physical, the emotional, psychological, the full spectrum of everything that you experience as you transition from one field of life into the next. And we also feel it's very important because most of these men are mature at that time, and we feel it's very important for their significant others to be a part of that process. So spouses are also invited to partake of those programs that we have available.
How frequently do players and their spouses and significant others take advantage of the services?
I'd say often, but certainly not as often as, I mean, I can tell you that 100% is achieved, but we certainly have made some great inroads, and I think it's in part, I know it's in part because of the staff, and again, our department is a service department, and also the fact that the league is committed, and so we have 5 former players that actually work in the department and work in various aspects of the league, which is extremely helpful because they have a core network of their peers that they communicate with on a regular basis, many of whom have already transitioned, who may not call me and say, hey, Deana, I have some concerns about, you know, the transition issue that I'm dealing with, but they may call James Thrash, or they may call Dwight Hollier, they may call David Tyree, they may call Patrick Kearney, or oftentimes they call Troy Vincent. So it's wonderful to have these former or legends that I work alongside with that are funneling the communication so that we can assist these people and these men and their families as they go through life.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and the leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.